support. So we got, of course, guys, we're back in the booth with the one and only Kenyatta Griggs. Peace. Talking about the new book released. This was released a year ago, right?
No, actually, the top of the year, almost a year.
Almost a year.
February 13th, we put it out.
Wow, dude, that
Black
time
Panther
went by
weekend.
so fast.
Yeah.
Man, so much success. I've been seeing you on so many podcasts and, you know, doing your press runs. And first of all, before we move forward with the interview, I definitely want to say congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for inspiring us all. I mean,
it.
literally those days when I'm having it tough and I'm trying to figure out, okay, how can I be creative, or how can I, and sometimes what you have to do is just put everything down and just kind of listen to other people.
Absolutely.
And allow other people to inspire you, because that energy needs to be regenerated. Thank you so much, Kenyatta. So, you know,
no problem,
we definitely got you in here. We thank you so much for coming, and I want to ask you a question that's I had to get out. So in this life of transition, right? We always learn and we grow. Most of us do, rather. And so you're a new man compared to the old Kenyatta.
Absolutely.
What would today's Kenyatta say to the old Kenyatta as far as advice? What would you give the old Kenyatta?
The old Kenyatta, I would tell the old Kenyatta, you know, spend a little more time studying and understanding what this thing is all about. You know,
what do you mean this thing?
This thing called life.
Come on.
You know, so what happens is, you know, when a man or a woman recognizes their own ignorance is the beginning of knowledge. That's when things begin to change, when you actually accept and face whatever idiosyncrasy you have, and then you move forward and become new. You know, you have to go through the shit. I don't think so much I would tell myself to not experience the things I experienced, because, you know, that incubation stage, that darkness that I went through is what brought me forward into where I'm at today.
Totally.
So it's beautiful. And you know, compost shit is the most important thing when it comes to vegetation. It is also the most important thing when it comes to us as human beings. You have to go through the shit.
Very true.
You know, manure brings forth what? Grass, life, you know, our fruits and vegetables, trees, et cetera, the dirt.
That's the illest fucking analogy I've ever heard. What the
So,
fuck, dude?
I'm like,
Only the hip-hop motivator.
So you want to embrace that darkness. You want to embrace that dirt you're going through, and understand that the other side of that, if you strive for knowledge and understanding, it turns into light, which is wisdom, which is also action. You know,
now,
so
I want to say you a 5%er. I could be wrong.
I studied the teachings. I studied it
5%er.
back in, like, when I was in junior high and high school, but now I'm not.
That's right.
You know,
That's
so
right.
you know,
You say knowledge itself. That's what that phrase is from 90s.
Yeah, especially because, you know, in the East Coast, they were a little more saying that,
Big time.
but that is so
Especially
much the truth. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're a Christian, whether you're Jehovah's Witness, Muslim,
It's
5%,
universal.
It's universal. You know, and that's why natural law is the universal principle that no one breaks. Nothing is above natural law.
Thank you.
By the way, you play any sports in high school?
I played basketball and I played football a little bit, but I played basketball more.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
What position? I'm curious.
I was a shooting guard, point guard.
Was you wet from the?
Oh, I was like, I'm
Oh,
totally.
of course you gonna say that, Kenyatta. I
no,
don't know, Kenyatta.
I was shooting it up, but, you know, it was like I was more of the assist man.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
So your dimes was on.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I made sure that.
So would you compare yourself to maybe a Lonzo Ball mentality, a pass first, shoot second, or would you maybe?
Nah, I just paid attention to the opportunity. I just was like, you know, almost like, you know, if it's there, you gotta take the shot.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Defense or offensive minded?
I was more, I would have to say defensive, because I understood that defense creates offense.
There you go.
Brother out there like Joe Dumars, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's real
Locking
talk.
it down.
Yeah. So
You know about Dumars.
Yeah.
What? Jordan said Joe Dumars was the best defender that ever defended.
Oh yeah.
talk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
he
he
said
was.
that.
That's
Yeah.
the bad boy Pistons, baby.
But the application is like for yourself, man. Defense with yourself would be knowledge of self.
That's right.
You know, the more you raise your range up with knowledge and great information, the better you can perform when it's time for you to perform. You know, and so it's just everything's connected. You know, there's a law called correspondence that tells you that everything, the microcosm is the macrocosm, as above, so below. Everything in the universe is connected.
It's funny because, like, you know, you assume everybody that cut hair on Crenshaw went to Crenshaw.
Yeah.
You know, I just knew he was going to say that. You know what I'm saying?
He's
So,
from Compton.
so
Don't mind
bounce
him.
around,
Of course,
you
he's
know,
going to
hey,
think
man.
that. Look, shout out to Hyde Park. Shout out to the, you know, the
out to
district.
Bird.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
it's all
saying?
good,
Murray,
man.
you already know what it is. Look.
I mean, I grew up over there. Like
right.
the family base was on Slauson,
That's
like
right.
by West Boulevard and Hillcrest. So
Oh, word.
that's
You,
where I
yeah,
grew up.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a boy then.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the Nipsey area.
You already know.
what
Come
I'm
on,
saying?
talk
So,
to me.
You know, that's my family over there, man. And, you know, I still go through there, man. That's home.
Yeah.
When I didn't have a home consistently, my aunt, she had a house over there, so that was like the family's house.
Oh,
base.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, Christmas,
Absolutely.
it all went down.
We lived there all
Already,
my whole
yeah.
life.
Yeah.
My whole life. So everything, yeah, it's all good.
Kenyatta, if someone had a question for you, and this was the last question that they could ever ask you, which is, how do you become successful? What would be your answer?
A well-defined intent. Your intention has to be in place first and foremost. Like, intention is the most important thing when it comes to arriving,
That's
achievement. Because once you get your intention in place, it's easier to arrive at a goal that you can see.
Totally.
And intention is definitely based on the faculties of imagination, which is the most important, which is one of the reasons why they try to destroy the imagination of children and us as children by having so many distractions and teaching us in a certain way within school that certain things are not reachable.
Sure.
See, when you teach a child that, what happens is as they get older, they begin to believe that certain things are unachievable.
Unachievable, yeah.
That there's a certain roof on every.
Say it louder so the people in the back can hear you. Sister Johnson ain't got her hearing aid in. Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you know, imagination is the most important. You know,
brother
you
got
want to
me
get that.
taking notes.
You
over
feel me?
here, man.
Literally. He got literally 3 notes right here, guys.
Man.
Just so you, 3 notes.
notes.
Just wanted to make sure that you guys saw it. Cause
Definitely. Yeah, but that's where we at, man. We have to, you know, just get that intention understood, you know, because a target you can see is always easier to hit.
Totally.
Definitely.
You know, and that's the beginning of planning. That's the beginning of everything. But imagination is what makes things, you know, come to life.
Kenyatta, what's next?
Well, you know, it's so many things that I'm doing. I have Thinking Ball Out the book. Of course, we did Secret to Ball in the movie. It's a movie I directed. I wrote it. I had to realign myself with getting on my willpower and finish the movie because we had some situations where the guy we paid, he wasn't, you know, he couldn't finish, so I had to finish.
Lee Daniels again, huh?
Well, you know what I'm saying? Man, it was crazy, man, because like with the movie, we didn't have a budget.
Yeah.
You know, that when you see The Secret to Ballin', that's a handmade movie with no budget.
I love it.
So the reason why, you know, and a lot of people they're not hip to it yet, but the reason I created that movie and I felt like it was important to finish is for the culture.
Come on.
First the black culture and then the culture of hip hop.
Word.
To show you that through the mind of through the imagination, anything's possible. So it's finished. And Snoop Dogg is in it, Chris Brown.
That's right.
We didn't have nobody on the list when we first started.
Wow.
I didn't know these people like that.
Come on.
That's right.
Come on.
I just kept filming. The first person we filmed was Big U.
Come on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Big homie one and only.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we got to get Big U down here, too. That's somebody that I want to holla at. I'm going to go to one of those Rams games and check him out
that's
one day.
easy.
You know,
Yeah.
he's always
I
Crenshaw
got
Rams,
you, I got
Crenshaw
you.
Rams.
Yeah, I'll call him and tell him. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I always wanted to talk to Big U, man, because I really like the way he's influencing the community. His 180,
Right.
you know. I love people that came from something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That it wasn't handed down to him, bro. For me, that's inspiring to me because that tells me that someone that literally went through the same thing you went through, if not worse,
Right.
did it. Why can't you do it? And
Yeah.
so,
But he had to embrace that darkness. He had to
Yeah.
recognize his own ignorance in order to get knowledge.
amen.
You know, so that's the way everything works, man. Like black people, you know, I just want to say this to every person that's listening, but especially black people, that we hold the most potential because as a whole, collectively, we're in the dark the most.
Amen.
So being in the dark, you know, which they made Star Wars after our image and likeness, you know what I'm saying? Darth means melanin, hence the word Darth Vader, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, they know, a lot of people know who we are, these so-called elite or cult leaders.
Come on.
And the word of cult means hidden from plain sight, where you get the word Oculus from. So I just say, man, just get into natural law principles, study these things, learn these things, and begin to teach everyone that comes in that's willing to learn.
Yeah.
Each one teach one, baby.
Absolutely.
We want to shout out to also the Culture Vulture book.
Yeah.
Kenyatta, let's go ahead and make sure we let them know where they can find that.
Absolutely. They can go to www.culturevulturesthebook.com.
And also, Kenyatta,
it's on Amazon as well.
Amazon as
if
well.
you want to just go straight to Amazon, you can get it from
Facts.
there.
Right.
Also, The Secret to Ballin' is out now.
Yes, they can get The Secret to Ballin' from www.hiphopmotivation.bigcartel.com.
No
as
doubt.
well as the Hip Hop Motivation T-shirts, Bump Assassin, and the audio book for The Secret to Ballin'.
The ticker report.